Oh, hi. Welcome back to Okay, but listen. We're kind of in a intimate area today. I am moving, and so I have no furniture. Usually I would film out in my living room, and currently there is just a big nasty pile of all of my clothes and things that I need to fit into my tiny little car. So, um we're in my room. Welcome. It's pretty boring and bare because I'm moving. Um, but I just thought that before the move is actually happening, I thought I would get one last episode out. Um, and I have a couple things to chat about. Um, some I just kind of want to do like a little recap of things happening in my life. And I want to do a little rant naturally. And yeah, I don't know. Let's just kind of get into it a little bit. So, okay. Things that are happening. Well, I'm moving. That's kind of like the biggest thing happening in my life at the moment. I took a new job and got a new apartment, and LOL. Also, this just dawned on me. I think I filmed another episode in this exact same shirt. It's one of my favorites for no reason other than it's comfy, but hashtag outfit repeater. Ew, I'm old. I just used hashtag disgusting. Okay, so I'm moving. I'm moving out of state. I am moving out of my home state back to my college town. And it really cringes me out to even say that because when I say that, it kind of makes me feel like I failed moving back to my home state, and I'm just like resorting back to college. And in reality, that's not actually it. Oh, and it's now Norman's time to play. Apologies. Just give him a minute. He'll tire himself out eventually. But yeah, so I am moving back to my college town, and it's kind of like it's bittersweet. One, because like my best friend lives up there and will be there for a hot second, I think. And I just have like such a huge network of people that live up there that I got super close to, that I Norm, can you get off the bed? Thank you. And I don't know, it definitely became my second home, because after I graduated college, I lived up there for like 3-4 years, because I just did the math the other day, and it's been 5 years since I graduated college. And can we just say disgusting? Like literally this month will be 5 years, and I don't know, just saying that for some reason makes me feel really old, and like I should have more accomplished in my life than I do. LOL. But yeah, so I'm moving back to that city in particular because I have a lot of people up there that I just I don't know, I'm really close to. And I've come to realize that like home isn't necessarily like your actual home. And like home is literally where like your people are. And just so happens that most of my people are in my college town. And that, definitely like I have so many people here in my home state who are so lovely, and I'm so close to them. And obviously like my family. Um Norman's just gonna be the entertainment of this entire episode. It's just gonna be him. I should just stop talking and just Norman, honey, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Um anyways, And so I don't want to like discredit that at all. Like, I don't want to make it sound like I have no one here. I have a lot of people here. I just have most or just more people in my college town, and I miss them dearly. And yeah, I never thought I'd be moving back there, but here we are. So moving back there definitely brought up a lot of feelings aside from just feeling like I kind of failed here, because my college town is significantly smaller than just the area that I'm from, and it's a lot more secluded than I'm used to. And it just like from the outside looking in, if you knew the specifics, it kind of looks silly. It looks like I moved to the big city, back with family, back with old friends. Like, that should be, you know, when I first moved here, like, I legitimately thought like I was going to be here for the rest of my life. Like, I thought like I'd find a boyfriend and then ultimately like a husband and start a family and whatnot. Like, I would just be here for the rest of my life. And I just like that obviously never happened. And I've only been here for a year. Granted, I really didn't give it a lot of time. I gave it a year. And but over this last year, like, I have been so lonely and so like, I don't know. I didn't really realize how extroverted of a person I was until I moved to my college town. And like, I know like what they say, like everybody is an extrovert in college, but it was like even more than that. Like, after I broke up with my ex, like, when I was with him, like, I legitimately thought I was like this huge homebody, and which with him I was, but ultimately my like who I am just as an individual, I'm actually more introverted than I thought, or extroverted than I thought I was. And so I was used to, you know, seeing my best friends almost every day, going and doing things, always planning things and doing this and that, and then it just like stopped. And granted, like, I have two amazing girlies who I definitely got to see a lot of, that I kind of grew up with, you know, and definitely reconnected with them and was able to spend a lot of time with them. But it's different, like, in my college town that's like such a small town, where I literally lived like 700 feet from my best friend, in like, we lived in the same apartment complex, and then all of a sudden I was just gone, and I didn't have that. And I figured, like, you know, that would kind of be just a growing pain, you know, like, yes, it would suck, and yes, I'd probably be a little bit depressed, and like, but eventually, like, I would find another, you know, a new group of people. Like, my best friend would always stay my best friend, but like, you know, I would eventually find people to have a similar experience with, and that just, it never happened. And I would like to say that I feel like I did try my best. I did try and put myself out there, which is also not easy to do. And I just, like, I tried the dating apps. I chatted about that when I first started the podcast, and it just, like, wasn't my thing. And I have been tempted recently to download them again, but then I realized it was just insecurity. So, it wouldn't have been for the right reason. So I haven't downloaded anything. And I'm not trying to say that everybody who downloads dating apps do it just because they're insecure and need validation. That's not what I'm saying at all. Me personally, that's what I would have done it for. And so I just have not. And yeah, and I really prayed a lot about it. I really prayed, you know, first I was praying for the chance to move back to my college town when I was like at my lowest of lows, when I was super, super depressed and lonely. And then I was praying for, you know, a new group of people here. And then I was praying for, like, I was just like, I eventually came to a point where I was like, you know what? I don't want to make a decision anymore. Like, I don't know what I want. but I just feel stuck. And I don't want to make the choice because I'm indecisive as it is, and I'm overwhelmed, and my lease is coming up, and I'm just like stressed. And then all in like 72 hours, I got my new job offer and signed a new apartment lease. And now I'm literally moving in a week and a half. Like, I swear this is all moved so rapidly that as soon as I said, God, please make the decision for me, he was like, thank you. You know, he was like, finally. And he did. And so, although I have this underlying feeling that like I failed here in my home state, and I failed being this like big city girly, and I failed being, I don't know, just all the expectations that I had for myself and for my experience here, I have some peace in knowing that I'm meant to move back to my college town, just because if I wasn't meant to, like, God wouldn't have let it happen. So I have some peace in that, but it still is hard, you know. And it's not even to like discredit like all of the amazing times that I had here, and I had some of the best nights of my life here and some of the best experiences of my life here. And I have met some really cool people. I think that the majority of my time here was just nostalgic. You know, like immediately when I moved back, I went back to all my favorite places, reconnected with people from high school. I don't know, just like kind of going back to, I don't know, it just like, even just being at like my parents' house, it's just nostalgic, and my grandparents' house, and I don't know, like going to like the old parks I used to hang out at, and like the shops I liked to go to, and it was just a very nostalgic year, I would say. And I just I'm so thankful that I grew up. But yeah, so I think I'm glad that this year happened, because it was a huge eye opener for me, and I think it was a really good experience, a really good year for growth in many ways. But I am also excited for my new adventure, even though it's going to be basically home. I do feel like I'm kind of moving home, because that, like, my college town was like basically where I really did a lot of my growing up in like my adulthood. And so I kind of made that place my home, with Norman, of course. So it does feel like we're moving back home, but and I think it's okay to have two homes, you know, like this state will always be my home state, and my family will always be home. I don't know. Okay, yeah, let's get into some of the other stuff, because that's kind of depressing and boring. I promise I'm good. I just have like some whiplash of like it all happening so fast, and like packing and getting rid of furniture, ordering new furniture. Like it's stressful, and it's overwhelming, and it's chaotic, and whiplash. Okay. Yeah, so other things that have gone on, honestly, like my life has been pretty boring, besides the fact that I've been moving. I think last episode I just kind of like gave the rundown of Valentine's Day. I believe that was my episode, if I'm remembering correctly. And yeah, I don't know. I basically, the man that I had really strong feelings for, I did tell that I told him that he was one of the reasons why I ultimately made the decision to move back, because I'm an honest girly, you know? And I did tell myself, like, I didn't want to move back just for a boy, and obviously, like, I'm not. Like, I'm still very confident in my decision, and, like, because of my best friend, and I'm excited for my new job and all of my other friends that I have there too. Um, so shout out Ashlyn. Excited to be living by you again. Um, and also she will be on the pod soon. Once I'm up there, she will make her appearance on the pod, and I'm sure I will have lots of other people on the pod, but for sure, Ashlyn is on the agenda. Whether she likes it or not. So, also, okay, so yeah, so I told him, I'm all over the place today, I'm sorry. I told him he was one of the reasons why I was moving back, and he basically was just like, sorry, I should have told you sooner. Is basically what he said in a nutshell. Ouch, you know. But it's just kind of like the norm of like me just like getting my hopes up, and then it just not happening, and then, you know, like, oh, it kind of like, yeah, obviously it hurt, but it's just like, well, yeah, that's kind of what I'd expect you to say, because that's how things have been going. But no, we're still friends, and I'm honestly doing really okay with that whole thing. I will say though, I have taken a step, and I have tried to put myself out there a little bit more. Lies. I'm only telling lies on this podcast. Um, no. Honestly, the God honest truth is that I've just made poor decisions, and I just recognize something about myself that I don't know, maybe other people with raging daddy issues will realize is I honestly didn't think my issues were that bad until this situation, but I realized that after having a 1 week situation with a younger man, I realize why I go after men that are younger than me. And it is because I just like control. I like just kind of setting the tone. And because I also had a situation happen where a lovely, lovely man who seemed like on paper great. Like he had his life figured out. He was a couple years older than me. He is a couple years older than me. He was just super bubbly, super fun. I haven't laughed that hard in a really long time. He, I don't know, like it was me and my best friend Ashlyn, and then one of my other best friends, Kaya, she was with us too, and he was just like entertaining the three of us, which is hard to do. We're pretty judgmental. and and he was like super fun and just super sweet, and had like very polite and respectful ways of hitting on me, and then like eventually asked to take me to dinner, which is like so super sweet. And I like, obviously that's kind of ideal, but I guess the thing about me that I realized is that I didn't like that. And I didn't like that I didn't like that. Like, it didn't give me the ick necessarily, but it made me nervous. Like, it gave me like a no, that's okay type of attitude, because he was like, please, like I'll get your number, like you can think on it, but I'd love to take you to dinner tomorrow at 7. I'll pick you up. Which, like, I want to date a man that will take the lead. I want that. I need that, you know? Which, okay, so this man was taking the lead, taking the initiative. He's like, I'd like to take you out to dinner. He was, you know, and it wasn't like I didn't feel comfortable with him. I wouldn't have, like, it wasn't that at all. It was solely just me having control issues, because it dawned on me that I actually haven't been without, like, my influence, I have not been taken on an actual date ever, which is actually so incredibly sad because I have had in my whole life I've only I've had two serious relationships, and everybody else in between, that sounds bad, but no one's actually been like, hey, like, can I take you out to dinner? Hey, can I take you to coffee? Can I take, like, and taken the lead without me being like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to, whatever? Or, like, we've just been in the same friend group and then they've, like, paid for my meal or something. But I genuinely have not been, like, picked up for a date, taken on a date, and just been led through a date. So, yeah. So that speaks volumes, I think, to me. And it was kind of a harsh reality check of just like, dude, like, let someone take you out. It shouldn't be that hard, but it is for me. And I go after guys who are younger than me because I like to have control and I like to organize the situation. But I don't want to end up with that. So I need to work on, I don't know how I'm going to work on this. Maybe it's just being more open-minded, maybe saying yes more. I don't know, but I do need to work on that because I don't want to end up with somebody that I have to lead or somebody that I have to try and change. I want them to already just be working on themselves and have worked on themselves. That's what I want. The bare minimum, honestly. But yeah, so that was something that it just kind of dawned on me, and it really kind of made me depressed over the man that I had really deep feelings for. Still do. I'll tell the truth. And it like was that realization, and then also kind of like the frustration of like, why can't he just love me back? But I've had a similar feeling of just like, why, especially like when I was a teenager, like why can't they just love me? And I think like a lot of those kinds of thoughts and those kind of feelings definitely stem from some underlying insecurities, but I would like to think that as my 25-year-old self, I'm a very confident person. I like, obviously everybody has things that they would like to change about themselves, but for the most part, I'm a pretty confident individual. Like it's really hard for me to get embarrassed. It's really hard for me to, I don't know, like and especially over this last year, I definitely grew in my confidence level. But I'm very like unashamed. Like I don't know. And so like I kind of had to think about it, and I was like, okay, so if I'm not like wildly insecure, but I'm still having these feelings of like, why doesn't he just love me? Like, why doesn't he love me back? And then it like, I don't know, I had this thought in prayer where I was like, which thank you, Lord, because what an amazing thought, was, and I wrote it down in my notes here, was like, okay, instead of spinning it into like, why doesn't he love me? I must not be pretty enough. I must not be funny enough, blah, blah, blah. No, like, how cool is it? And how beautiful is it that I think so highly of myself, where I'm confused when another individual doesn't think of me the same. And like, and I think that's just kind of where I'm at right now. As much as I talk about like feeling like I failed and feeling this and that, I think those are just fleeting feelings that I'm having in the midst of change. But for the most part, my like consistent outlook on just my life as a whole is I feel very proud about the life that I have lived so far. I feel very confident in the choices that I have made. I feel like I am a really fun person, and I'm a good friend. I feel like I'm a really great significant other when in that position. I feel like I'm a good older sister. I feel like I am a good daughter for the most part. I feel like I'm a good granddaughter. I feel like I am a good worker. I feel like, obviously, don't get me wrong, there are so many things that I need to be better on and get better at, and I'm constantly trying to work on something. And I think that's a good thing too. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means, very far from. But I'm just overall pretty proud of the life that I've lived. And I think that it's kind of a beautiful thing that I recognize my worth and the good qualities that I do have, to then be confused when others don't see them. And I think I just kind of have to revel in that thought and just sit with that in order to not spiral into the other way of thinking of like, would he like me better if I was taller? Would he like me better if I was blonde? Would he like me better if I smoked weed? I don't I don't know. Like, there's so many thoughts that goes through a girl's head. I think men will just never understand the thought process behind in that situation, and the insecure things that go through our brains, I think would kind of shock a couple men. So yeah, I guess that those are all of my updates on my life, my love life, my situations, I guess. Yeah, that's it. So let's get into some rants, because I'm feeling very ranty today. And oh, no. Okay, before I go into my rant, I would like to also, well, this is kind of a rant because, listen, total topic change. I want to talk about hobbies, because this man, actually, that I mentioned earlier, who was very bubbly, asked me on the date. Okay. Also, not to leave you hanging, did not go on the date with him. Okay. He had asked, like, me and Ashlyn and Kaya if, like, what our hobbies were. And I realized that, like, I was kind of stumped. And I mentioned that I had a podcast, and this is one of my hobbies, and I do genuinely like it. I wish I could do it more. But aside from that, I was like, do I have any hobbies? And it really got me thinking, because in high school, I had so many hobbies. And, like, I feel like I had less time to have hobbies than I do now. You know, I was into sports, I was into music, I was into just all this, like, artsy stuff, and, like, I had so many things in my life that were my hobbies that, like, I could go on for hours and hours and hours talking about my hobbies in high school. And now all I had to mention was I have a podcast and I like going to the gym. Like, that's basic. I mean, the podcast is a little unusual, but it just kind of, like, made me real. Like, I went home and I was really thinking on that for the next couple days, and I was like, you know what? I want to have a lot of hobbies. And what I realized about myself is, okay, I'm the oldest child, I'm a perfectionist, I'm a control freak, okay? And what I realize when it comes to hobbies, I put myself in a box of, like, if I cannot be the best at this, I'm not going to do it. And that's exactly how I was with sports too. Like, even as a kid, like, I would not, like, if my basketball team was playing a team that I knew that we were going to win, I would play my heart out. I would play my soul out. Like, I would have the town talking, you know? But if it was a team that was, like, just slightly just, like, as good as my team, nah, sit me, because I'm not going to try. If there's just, like, a slightest whiff that I might not win or be the greatest at whatever the thing is, I'm out. Count me out. Is that very toxic? 100%. It is so limiting. that mentality. And while I thought that I had grown from that, my competitive aspect, like my competitive personality, is still that. So, like, I played lots of instruments in high school, and I sang. I was in multiple choirs. I did voice lessons. I did lots of vocal performances. I did lots of competition in high school for like songwriting, vocals, just instruments on their own. That was my primary thing in high school. I was very into music, and I was going to go to college for that. Didn't, thank goodness. Because you always think that you're really good in high school, and then you actually move out and you're like, I actually know nothing. So, but to try and move out of that headspace and that mentality, I'm going to dive into all these hobbies again. I'm going to get back into my photography, which I do for a living, but I'm going to do it for fun as well. I want to get back into my music. I have my piano, which was my primary instrument that I played, but I want to like play it all the time. I want to get better at it. I want to learn a bunch of songs. I don't have any of my other like instruments that I had in high school. I sold my guitar, my ukulele, and everything else, but I want to buy them again. I want to buy, the same versions. I want to get better at them than I was in high school. I want to start posting more covers of songs because I do genuinely like to sing. I do get embarrassed to sing in person though, and like in public. But I want to post covers. I want to I want to do all of that. And then I also want to, like, as soon as I move, like, I want to be outside. I want to do all of the, like, sports that I like to do. I really like to play volleyball. Volleyball was my main sport. I really enjoy volleyball. I want to join, like a summer volleyball team. I want to go rollerblading. I want to go kayaking. I want to go camping. I just want to do all of these things that I really like to do in high school, but then I just kind of like stopped doing because I realized I wasn't the best at them. And I just want to do them because I think even to just dabble in something is awesome, Okay. Anyways, so I guess if anybody is also kind of stuck in that like, oh, like, well, I want to do this, but I'm not very good at it. Just do it. Just do it. Because who cares? Okay. Let's get into my rant. That actually warmed me up for my rants a little bit. So, okay, I'm just going to start this off with a hot topic. Don't worry, I'll balance it out. Why don't guys know anything about cars anymore? I come from a family where every man that I am related to knows something about cars. They never claim to be mechanics, but they always know, like, oh, your car's making a funny sound. Oh, it's probably this. Or, oh, I bet it's this. Or they're like, ooh, let me take it for a drive and let me see if I can figure it out. Let me take a look. And they just know. And these men, granted, I have been talking to people who are younger than me, but they don't know anything about cars. Like, I literally had asked a man, I was like, ooh, like, there's like a squeaky sound coming from, like, it sounds like it's coming from the back of my car. Like, do you know what it could be? And this man literally claimed to be a diesel mechanic, and he was like, you're fine. And then I did end up taking it into an auto shop when my dad was like, yeah, that sounds pretty bad. And it ended up being my brakes. And I was like, you're literally a mechanic. Like, I don't know. And then, like, there's just, like, other people that I've talked to where I'm like, oh, yeah, like, I don't, like, do you want to, like, could you do this for me? Or, like, could you, like, do you want to do an oil change? Like, or something like that. And they're just like, I don't know how. I'm sorry. What? No, I'm sorry. So why? And then to say, like, I said I was going to flip it. Why don't women, I don't know. I was gonna make some, I don't know, actually. Ooh, I know. Why do women do things to try to look cute? And it's like, it does the complete opposite. I met this individual a couple weekends ago. Bless her heart. No, because you know what? I don't want to be society's version of a girl's girl, because no, I'm not going to be supportive of you just because you're a girl. Like, if you're not a good person, I'm not going to support you. Anyways, this girl, not that I'm saying she's not a good person. I don't really know her that well, but she was literally standing there at this like event with like, I know she had a crush on this guy that was there. And so I think she was just like trying to be cutesy, and she was just like, why are men so stupid? Why are men so dumb? I hate men. I hate them. Girl. First of all, that's a big pet peeve of mine, because men actually do a lot, and we need to uplift them and support them instead of just like constantly bashing them and telling them that they're pieces of shit and that they know nothing and that they're so stupid and dumb. They don't think the way we do. How are they supposed to know? And we don't think the way they do. So how are we supposed to know? We're different. That's just how it is. Thank the Lord we're not the same. And I feel like men are the way that they are these days is because we've been bashing them. I feel like I really haven't, but like, yeah, men can be disappointing. Men can be the worst. They can be so stupid and dense and whatever and all the things, but so can we. Just as easily. So I hate when I hear a girl say that, because it's like, I understand I don't even understand, because I don't know why you're saying that. I know you're trying to look cute and quirky and whatever, but it's not cute. Bashing men is not cute. Holding people accountable is cute, but bashing them for no reason and just putting them all in like one collective and just saying they're all stupid, they're all dumb. No. I would off myself if there became a day where it was just only females. I'm sorry. Not for me. I like men. Okay. Ooh. Yes. This one's kind of just stupid, but like when people are driving, and I have a lot of driving rants, but anyways, when people like leave their blinker on and they don't realize that their blinker's on, I'll never understand that. How do you not know your blinker's on? It's been on for 10 minutes. That clicking sound isn't annoying to you? You don't realize when other cars are like slowing down so that you can get in their lane because it looks, you're telling everybody you're trying to move to the left? People just need to be more aware, I guess. Myself included. So, and people who aren't personable. Okay, so the same situation, or the same like event that I was at where I saw this girl bashing men, I also like kind of re-met some people at this event because they didn't remember me. And like, maybe it's me thing. I'm a very personable person. Like, I will remember the smallest detail about somebody. Gun to my head, won't remember your name, but I will remember that your dog's favorite color is blue or whatever. You know, like I remember the smallest details. I will remember most conversations if I'm sober. Let's just put that out there. I'm very good at remembering small details about people. And even if it's just like a small interaction, like I will remember meeting you. I might not remember your name, but I will remember you. And these people just like did not remember me. And from my point of view, I feel like they should have. But they didn't. And I was just kind of like I played it off because I also don't like to put people on the spot. I was just like, oh yeah, my name is Emily, you know, so nice to meet you. But in my head, I'm like, yikes. I'm just that forgettable, I guess. No, I'm sure maybe it's just a me thing. I just am more inclined to remember things about people, and I'm sure other individuals have a hard time, and that's fine, and maybe they were those kind of people. But it does kind of hurt me, where I'm like, I feel like in this day and age a lot more people are just nonchalant, we'll say that, and it's like cooler to just like not care and not remember, and I hate that. Like, no, let's remember. Let's go back and remember, you know? Just a thought. Okay, I think that's all my rants. Yeah, that's it. I don't know, guys. I feel like, to literally, like, the 4 people that watch this, shout out to y'all. But thank you if you made it this far. God bless. This will probably be the last episode here in this apartment. Thanks for hanging out in bed with me today. Next episode will probably be in my new place. I'm excited. New furniture, so it'll be a new look and everything. Stoked about that. And, yeah, I guess as always, if there's anything specific, that you'd like me to rant on or give my 2 cents, because obviously everybody cares about what I have to say, so let me know if you think I should chat a little bit about it. And then yeah, find me on socials and TikTok and Instagram and TikTok. Those are the only 2 I care about, so also, I'm going to try and upload some of my older episodes, and if I can't do the older episodes for sure this one, I'm going to try to upload them to Spotify so that, there's just an audio version. So if you think that's neat, check it out. I don't know. I'm so tired, you guys. We'll wrap this up, but, yeah, thanks for watching again. Love you so big. Yeah, I guess until next time.